Japan will be overrun with garbage.
Why?
Because you have just dumped some garbage without thinking about recycling. The waste material will exceed the capacity of waste disposal sites in about 4 years. Things are already bad enough. You should think about what to do.
Hi, my name is Earth, the mascot of iSet.
I'm Daiichi.
I'm Sora.
This is the International Center for Environmental Technology Transfer, or iSet for short. The people here are involved in various projects aimed at preventing your community from being overrun with waste and advising you what should be done about it. In our society, manufacturers make products in factories and then consumers buy them. Consumers then throw away the old products when they are finished with them. At each phase, the volume of waste material needs to be reduced to almost zero. Zero emission is very important.
What's zero emission?
The emission of waste material should be reduced to almost zero. That's why we call it zero emission. The Earth has a finite amount of resources which will eventually run out. In order to preserve resources, it is necessary to utilize serviceable and recyclable resources.
So, what should we do?
Okay, let me tell you something. Local governments and private companies have worked to build facilities for achieving zero emission. The local citizens have also been cooperative. This is just one of the examples.
Whoa! What huge trees!
This is Yakushima Island, 60 kilometers southwest of Cape Sata of Asumi Peninsula, which is the southernmost tip of Kyushu Island. It rains a lot there. The abundant water has enabled the growth of various rare plants and trees, including Yakusugi cedar trees. In 1993, to preserve and conserve this valuable natural environment, Yakushima Island was designated as the first World Natural Heritage Site in Japan.
Look! Monkeys!
And the deer as well.
Yeah, human beings, animals, and nature used to coexist and co-prosper there. And it is even said that at one time 20,000 monkeys, 20,000 deer, and 20,000 people lived there together. But this coexistence started to collapse because the air and water became contaminated. Brisk economic activities changed the lifestyle, and the volume of waste materials increased. The designation as the World Natural Heritage Site resulted in about 200,000 visitors being attracted every year. So, the people of Yakushima started considering how to effectively use energy by recycling resources under given conditions.
How?
Avoiding the waste of energy, people have tried to recycle resources to achieve zero emission in order to develop their activities more without destruction of the natural environment.
How did they do that?
Well, they took measures to not pollute the air and water and not carelessly dispose of daily waste. The use of fossil fuels like coal and oil pollute the air. So, on Yakushima, with its abundant water, 70% of the electricity is generated by hydropower and the remaining 30% by thermal power. It means that just a small fraction of the electricity is generated using fossil fuels. On the other hand, automobile fuel accounts for 60% of the total fossil fuel consumption. It is necessary to reduce consumption of gasoline and diesel oil. For that reason, the official vehicles of the local government are electric cars which do not pollute the air, to publicize how important it is to preserve the global environment. Yaku Town has equipment to convert household waste oil to automobile fuel as one of the measures to avoid pollution of the waterfront environment and sea, instead of disposing of it.
What kind of equipment?
In Yaku Town, there are 130 garbage collection sites. People dump their waste cooking oil in the tanks there. The collected waste cooking oil is refined by this equipment to be used as automobile fuel. 18 official cars run on the recycled oil. Running on this recycled oil, the engines emit little sulfur oxide, one of the emissions which wither trees and plants in the forest, so that the natural environment on the island can be preserved.
What massive amount of garbage!
Yeah, when they had just a small number of visitors, the disposal facility in Yakushima was able to deal with all the garbage, but now the volume exceeds the facility capacity. They are concerned about this.
So, what are they doing?
Since different kinds of garbage need to be dealt with, the local government started to request people to separate their trash for collection. Then they tried to recycle the garbage, if possible, instead of incinerating all of it. Kitchen garbage is collected in buckets intended only for raw garbage at the garbage collection sites. The collected raw garbage is sent to a composting center to make compost. Almost 100% of the raw garbage is now recycled. It's been very successful. Plastic bottles, which make up the greatest volume of all the garbage, are sent to Kagoshima Prefecture for recycling because they can't deal with them on Yakushima. But there are other kinds of garbage that cannot be appropriately dealt with there. Some measures to deal with it are now under consideration.
Aren't the tourists unwelcome now? They increase the amount of garbage, don't they?
No, that's not true. The tourists are always welcome. They enjoy the abundance of nature in this town. To attract more visitors, people in the town have worked hard on environmental countermeasures to preserve the natural environment and to improve the town as a base of ecotourism.
Ecotourism? What's that?
Ecotourism is a new type of tourism. People in the local community and the visitors as well can benefit from the natural environment while inheriting the forest, trees, and other aspects of nature and the traditional lifestyle in each community. Yakushima Island is most suitable for ecotourism. Environmental destruction has been problematic in every part of Japan. The measures taken here do not necessarily work well for other places, but we can learn lessons from the efforts here. How do you think the pile of garbage is dealt with?
Will it be burnt?
No, these garbage bags and waste plastics will be converted into oil. Niigata City has a population of over 530,000. About 13,000 tons of waste plastic annually, or 30 tons a day, are disposed of from the households in the city. They are dealt with by the Niigata Plastic Recycling Center. The recyclable plastic bottles, which account for 7% of the total waste and inappropriate impurities, are removed, and the remaining 7,000 or so tons of waste plastic are converted into oil.
That's incredible!
Yeah, this facility can deal with the waste plastic from a big city of 530,000 people in a safe and pollutant-free manner. In this respect, it is regarded as one of the most advanced disposal facilities in the world.
I can't wait to see it!
Separated waste plastic is brought to the facility by a collecting packer vehicle and put onto the conveyor belt for treatment. Disposal bags are broken first. Iron scraps are then removed if present. Then the plastic bottles for recycling are extracted.
What are they doing?
They are removing some impurities from the garbage which may cause trouble for converting the plastic into oil. Then the plastics are crushed into pieces by crushers. ferrous materials or aluminium fragments in the crushed plastic are taken out by the separator. In this way, the waste plastic is cut into pieces to make oil.
Then, what happens?
Most of the waste plastic is polyethylene resin and polypropylene, which are thermally decomposable to become oil. 8% of the waste plastic is polyvinyl chloride, PVC, which can't be converted to oil. So the PVC is removed first by a machine. Then the melted waste plastic is thermally decomposed by a machine called the decomposing distillant reactor at 400 degrees Celsius to become oil comparable to bunker A.
Oil is made from waste plastic. Great!
The oil produced at this stage is unmarketable. It needs to be refined and treated again with a catalyst agent to become an oil product for shipping.
Where do they use this oil?
The oil produced by this facility is used at the public facilities in Niigata City. Some is used as naphtha to produce petrochemical products. The dumped waste plastic is used again as material for producing plastic. It means the resource is recycled here.
I see. With this system, the wasted plastic is reused as a new resources, right?
All the garbage is not necessarily burned. Let me show you another advanced facility.
What is this facility?
Okay, kids, I'll tell you about the garbage first and then show you the facility. Do you know how much garbage is dumped per person every day in Japan?
I have no idea.
It's 1 kilogram per person per day. In other words, 1 ton every year from a typical family of 3.
Whoa! What huge amount!
Yeah, can you imagine how much ash is produced when a ton of garbage is burned?
Well...
It is a difficult question, isn't it? It's 10% of the total garbage. It means that about 100 kilograms of ash remains after every single ton of garbage is incinerated. The ash used to be buried in landfills, called waste disposal sites. But the space for dumping the ash is running out. For that reason, technology was developed to transfer the garbage to melted slag for recycling instead of ash.
Melted slug? What's that?
You know, with new technology, garbage is melted at a high temperature and vitrified. The resulting material is used as resources. Melted slag is made in the fluidized bed gasification melting furnace with a new technology. We have high hopes that it will be the most advanced facility to solve the garbage disposal issue, because landfill space for the ash will soon not be available. This is Clean Plaza Chuno, where garbage from 39,000 households in the Chuno region in Gifu Prefecture is dealt with. It is a comprehensive waste disposal center, including a bulky waste treatment facility and a recycling plaza as well. The bulky waste and non-combustible waste are crushed in the bulky waste treatment facility. Metal waste like ferrous material and aluminium are separated from the incinerated garbage first. The crushed garbage is sent to a gasification furnace together with combustible garbage from households and incinerated ash which was previously burned.
Why do they dig out the burnt ash?
Well, that's a good point. The ash, which was once buried, is melted in the gasification furnace to be recycled as resources. The gasification furnace gasifies the garbage at a low temperature of 500 to 600 degrees Celsius, while collecting the ferrous material and aluminium from the garbage.
Collecting the ferrous material and the aluminium?
Well, ferrous material and aluminium are included in the garbage to be burned. When they are burned at a low temperature with less oxygen, non-oxidized recyclable metals are removed. In the melting furnace, unburned gas from the gasification furnace is melted at a high temperature of 1300 degrees Celsius. Then, instead of ash, melted slag is made for various uses.
For example,
The melted slag can be effectively used for road asphalt and blocks.
Garbage are turned into blocks.
That's right. Hazardous gases like dioxin in the exhaust are dissolved at a high temperature of over 1300 degrees Celsius.
whoa, almost no dioxin is emitted. That's great!
That's not the end of the story. The generated heat is collected to generate electricity for use in the facility.
It's really friendly to the environment.
Okay, kids, you have learned a lot.
Yeah.
Now, let's turn to biomass. Energy and other resources are generated using plants grown with solar energy, bodies, and feces of animals which eat plants, and waste material like raw garbage. It's called biomass.
Whoa, so many rice cakes are coming out, one after the other.
It looks delicious.
It is. This is a factory making sweets and other foodstuffs. You like sweets, right, kids? Leaves are recycled in several ways after producing the finished products because the raw materials are nutritious. For example, some food waste is used to make feed for pigs. The buns with some cracks or other deformity are not suitable to be shipped, but they are nutritious and so they are fed to pigs instead of being dumped.
So, nothing is wasted?
Right. It is important to conserve the resources. So, syrup for snow corn and ice cream can't be recycled as feed, since it has a high water content, but they are recycled as biogas.
Biogas? What's that?
Biogas is the gas generated from the leftover food. Methane in the biogas is used to produce clean energy, such as steam and electricity. Also, technology to recycle fermented liquid as a nutritive substance for cultured fish is now under development.
I see. Fish are breed.
Besides the leftover food recycling, plastics and wrapping paper are also recycled as fuel at the RPF plant.
RPF?
RPF stands for Recycled Plastic Fuel. The waste plastic and trash are crushed and hardened up to become solid fuel. The boiler running on the solid fuel generates steam and hot water to be used in the factory, and no waste is brought outside for disposal. Garbage is separated for collection based on the factory system, so that the garbage is easily recycled. With various technologies, this factory tries to recycle the waste material and not to send it outside for disposal. It's an environmentally friendly approach and very important. The International Center for Environmental Technology Transfer, ICET for short, has been active in disseminating the idea of zero-emission promotion and biomass. Now take a look at your room, house, and school. Reduce garbage and then try for zero emission in your town.
Yeah. Let's start to try what we can do first.